Good morning. Welcome to Kendal Mountain Festival. This is day 5 of our Nurture Well campaign, which is coming to you at 7:30 every morning throughout the festival. We've had 5 different practitioners so far leading us through moving meditation and different kinds of yoga. And today we have the beautiful Helen Roscoe, who is going to be talking us through a holistic practice. Her background is in athletics and art, so she creates a very varied and compassionate approach to yoga. We're really excited to have her on board. These sessions are brought to you by Bamboo Clothing. Please check out their beautiful and sustainable, fully sustainable active wear. But for now, please enjoy your session. Thanks very much.
Morning, everyone. Welcome. So this is the day 6, is it? Nurture Well campaign. Thank you so much for joining me. So today's practice, I thought I'd draw upon the idea of nurturing well. So we're going to take that through. We're going to start on the ground, make our way up slowly. So I've been thinking about rising energy recently. So we'll think about how we can rise with our energy from the earth and take that up into some standing postures before we start bringing it back down again. And we'll close with a short breathing practice just to help us move into our day more mindfully. Okay, so we're going to start on our back. If you just want to take some time just to make sure you have space to move around so that you're not going to come into contact with any furniture. And then also it might be useful, depending on what's happening with you, to have some props around. I often have a bolster, but I recommend people could have cushions, blankets, anything really that will help to support you in your practice. It's important to me that the practice that I offer is accessible and enjoyable. So kind of making sure that you have everything you need in place for that to be the case. Okay, so coming to rest onto your back and just take some time to settle here. Maybe just sigh the breath a few times. If it's comfortable for you, letting your eyes close, otherwise just softening your gaze as if you were looking a little more down towards your nose. And your knees can be bent with the soles of your feet on the floor, a little away from your bottom. And then I'd like you to place one hand over your chest or your heart, and then the other hand over your abdomen, your belly. Just have a sense that your shoulders are widening a little, your elbows are softly resting, and your hands just rest lightly onto your body. And just take a few moments to observe the contact that you have through the back of your body and the ground or the earth. So imagine that the ground that you're lying on is deeper than that. You're resting onto the earth. And the earth in our practice today, when we rest upon it, when we release towards it, is almost like a soft, velvety cushion of warmth beneath you. So have a sense that you are allowing yourself to settle into that soft, velvety cushion of the earth. And just notice how that feels. When we start the day, there is often some tightness, maybe some anxiety about what may be ahead of us, some tension about ordering our day in some way. So just for this session, allow yourself to let go of that. Just set your to-do list aside for now. Bring yourself into your body and notice how the back of your body becomes cushioned. Your muscles can release here. Your bones can rest. And then just slowly begin to notice that you are breathing in, and then notice that you are breathing out. Just a simple observation that you are breathing in and that you are breathing out. Perhaps there is a rhythm of some kind, or perhaps your breath is a little unsteady at this stage. And you're just simply observing, simply noticing your inhalations and your exhalations as they arise. And as you begin to notice your breath cycle, can you observe how the hand against your chest rises a little as the breath enters your body, and then the belly also rises and softens as your abdomen swells with the in-breath. And then as the breath leaves your body, can you feel the abdomen soften down towards that velvety cushion of the earth, and then the chest hollow, and the breath leaves out through the nostrils into the space around you. So bring your awareness to the tip of your nose even, and then follow the coolness of the breath in through the nostrils. Notice the journey of the breath in through the nostrils, passes the throat, hand is pressed against the chest, the chest expands, and then the belly rises. On the exhale, the belly softens, there's a hollowing and emptiness that begins in the body, and that emptiness continues towards the chest, the rib cage, and then the breath passes through the throat and back out into the space around you. And you might be able to observe your breath expanding and rising into other parts of your body also, such as your back, or your pelvis, or even into your fingertips, your arms. Just notice where you begin to experience this rising energy, this sense of inner expansion that arises from the inhalation. And then as you release, this hollowing, this releasing, as you let go towards that soft, velvety cushion of the earth. And just gradually then, with this breath cycle, deepening the inhalation so it feels a little more expansive. The chest rises a little more, the belly swells a little further. And then on the exhale, lengthen on the exhalation without force. Lightly draw the belly back towards the spine. Notice how the rib cage, the chest softens, the breath leaves the body back out into the space around you. So your breath becomes steady and comfortable, soft and light. Snuggling your chin in a little towards your throat, placing your hands beside you, and just lightly draw your feet a little closer in towards your bottom. Following your expansive in-breath, take your right arm as you begin to inhale and extend it onto the floor, either out at shoulder level or behind you. See what's happening with that shoulder as you release it down. On the exhale, extend the fingertips away and then lower your right arm forwards and down. As you breathe in, take the left arm. Expand your fingertips up towards the sky, release towards the earth. And then on the exhale, in the opposite direction. It's almost like you're drawing an arc of light around you as you go. And then continue. This time, see if you take your right arm back, how does it feel to lower your head to the left? And then on the exhale, lowering the arm down and bringing your head to center. As you breathe in, the left arm, and then your head lowers to the right. On the exhale, lower down and your head comes center. And taking that once more to each side. Just finding some space across your shoulder into your chest. This time when you lower down, lightly draw your belly button back towards your spine. Just bring that support in for your pelvis. Press into your feet. On the in-breath, release. Lower your head to the right and take your left arm over. And as you lower down, engage your abdomen a little. So notice how that brings support in for your pelvis. The next time you breathe in, try to take both arms with you. And if they don't reach the way all the way to the ground behind you, take them out at shoulder level. On the exhale, lightly draw the belly in and then extend your fingertips up towards the sky. Continue to draw that arc of light. And then again, inhale the arms. As you exhale, draw your left knee in over your belly and bring your hands behind the thigh. As you inhale, start to extend through your left heel, pressing your heel up towards the sky. Start lengthening through your left leg. And then on the exhale, draw the knee in softly over your belly. Pressing into your right foot. Inhale, extend through the left heel. Lengthen up through the back of the leg. And on the out breath, lower your heel to your bottom. And place your hand on top of the knee. Softly now with the breath. Begin to inhale and circle your knee out and round. On the exhale, drawing in. And just taking some gentle circling motion into your hip. How does it feel if you release your right hand and you just continue to circle with the left arm? And then take it in the opposite direction. Maybe 2 or 3, depending on your pace. Circles in either direction. And then you could lower your left arm and continue to circle if that feels okay for you. Otherwise, keeping your hand there for support. 2 or 3 times actively then with the legs circling around the pelvis. It's almost like you're drawing a circle around your pelvis on the left side. Keeping the knee drawn in. This time on the in-breath, extend again through the heel. Keeping your leg extended up towards the sky. As you breathe in, point your toes away. And then on the exhale, draw your toes towards you. Can you find some space between your toes? Inhale, extend your toes away, stretch through the front of the foot. Exhale, fan, so find some space between the toes, push your heel away. This time, inhale, extend your arms back and lower your left leg down. And then on the exhale, draw your left knee in again over your belly and extend your right leg along the floor. Just pause here as you breathe in. And then on the exhale, rounding through the shoulders, lifting your nose towards the knee. Take a breath in, extend your arms out, extend your left leg. So now you're flat on the ground, legs are flat on the ground. Push the heels away, push your hands away, find some space in your body, fill your body with air, and then sigh, soften down. Bring your left foot onto the floor, and then exhale and draw the right knee in. This time bring your hand behind the back of the right thigh. As you inhale then, we'll take the movement extending through towards your right heel a couple of times. The exhalation draws the knee in. The inhalation finds length along the leg. And keep pressing a little into your left foot so that you feel steady across your pelvis, so you're not leaning over to one side. And then with the knee drawn in over the belly, start to circle the knee. So almost as if you're drawing a circle with your knee around your right side of pelvis. But the knee crosses over to the left and then out. And then you change direction and you can start seeing how it feels just to work with the hand. So one hand on the right and the left hand stretches out onto the ground. And if you begin to feel steady there and you'd like to explore a more active circle through that knee and hip, releasing both hands so the back of your body is flat and then the knees circles, just finding that rhythm and a pace that is useful for you. And then the knee draws in, and on an in-breath, extending through the heel, and we'll start to explore a little through that top foot. And you can soften your knee here as much as you need to. On the in-breath, extend your right toes up towards the sky, and then on the out-breath, push through the heel and draw the toes towards you. And we'll take that a few times, just awaken your foot on the right side. Notice how it feels different to the left. And then drawing in the right knee, extend the left leg along the ground. Pause here as you breathe in. And then on the exhale, rounding through the shoulders, lifting through the head towards the knee. And then on the in-breath, stretch out on the ground. Maybe your stretch is a little wider this time. This time on the exhale, curl yourself into a ball, rounding up, ball-like in your shape, hugging yourself closely. And start to rock a little. Let your head come down to the ground, rocking from side to side until you finally find yourself resting onto one side. Just pause there and then take your time to come up and bringing yourself onto the mat into a kneeling position. Now this position, I appreciate, isn't always the most accessible for people. And our starting position for the next posture will be more into a child's pose. So what I would recommend, that if your knees and your back, when you come into child's pose, feel compromised, that you raise your head. So you're resting onto a stack of cushions, or if you have blocks or even books with a blanket over the top, so that you're not too heavily creased into the hips and the knees. If you're okay bringing yourself down into a child's pose, then you can lower and rest yourself. So think ball-like or even like a pebble on the ground, and resting your hands onto your lower back, keeping your chin drawn in towards the throat. And really try and focus on that as you move. Try not to let your chin release up. Think of the work along your spine and into your heart. So you're resting onto that soft velvety cushion of the earth. Take an exhale into that place. And then when the in-breath arrives, bring your awareness to your chest, to your heart, and begin to lift it a little way from your thighs. Rising up with the chest. Exhale and lower and round yourself back towards that soft velvety cushion of the earth. On the in-breath, rise again, coming a little further. And then on the exhale, releasing down. You could almost imagine your spine and your breath are wave-like here. Riding the wave as you lift, energy rising. Come a little further through with the pelvis now. So start lifting up each time you rise. You ride that wave of breath, inhaling. We can begin to come a little further onto the knees. So we're becoming more upright in our torso. And then on the exhale, we round and release back to our starting place. Inhale to come up. Start taking the arms with you. Exhaling, folding down. Take the arms a little further. Imagine you're drawing a circle around yourself. Extend through, lengthen along the sides of body. Exhale. Imagine then you are enveloping yourself within that circle as you fold down again. Breathing in. Breathing out. This time, as you breathe in, coming back all the way into that full kneeling position, standing on your knees. As you exhale, rotate round towards the right side, let your arms release beside you. And then breathe in and bring yourself center. On the exhale, to the left. Breathe in, come through center, and then exhale, fold forwards and down. And we'll take that little sequence once more. The inhale rises you, and then the exhale, a gentle rotation. Lightly draw your belly in towards the spine. The inhale brings you back, and then the exhale to the left. Coming in. This time on the exhale, lower your arms beside you. So you stand on your knees. Now, if your knees are feeling a little tender, place that blanket underneath the knees or roll your mat. Slide your hands a little way from your hip crease. We're going to start working our way through a sequence that will bring us into a downward facing dog. So from that down dog, then we'll come up to stand. So sliding your hands away from your hip creases, almost like you're stretching your fingers away from your shoulders down towards the earth. On the in-breath then, slide them back up and lift your chin a little way. And then as you exhale, fold forwards and down. Slide your hands along the ground in front of you. And as you breathe in, come through onto all fours, pressing through your hands. I'd like you to stay there as you exhale. Press into the earth, knees, top of feet. As you breathe in, then tucking the toes under and lifting your knees a little way off the ground. And then on the exhale, begin to lift your pelvis away from your hands diagonally, moving into a bent knee, downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. And then on the exhale, begin to walk through with your heels towards the earth, almost like you're pulsing. And if you find this becomes a little too much for you at any stage, just coming back down on to all fours. And you could go between the two shapes, exploring that length along the spine, through to the pelvis, and then back down through towards the heels. And then everyone coming back onto all fours. Soften the feet, take your pelvis back, slide your hands to your lower back, and then with that rising energy, lifting from the earth, extend the arms away, and then sigh. Bring yourself back. Hands to the hip, slide away. And then on the in-breath, lift towards the hip creases, let your elbows soften. Exhaling and fold. Slide your hands in front of you. Breathe in to all fours. Exhale, find the earth here. On a breath in, tucking the toes under, lift the knees, then we pause. And then on the out breath, exploring through into our down dog. Or you could stay in that little core position with the knees raised if that feels more supportive for you. Or you could come back down onto all fours and work through into your cat, down to child's pose. So just make sure you honor yourself, that you're nurturing yourself. If you're coming into a down dog, how does it feel to exhale the heels towards the earth and then inhale to bend the knees? Okay, take a breath in. The knees reach the ground. On the exhale, lower back. And then inhale, come back through into that standing kneeling position. And then a long sigh on the out breath. Coming up to stand slowly in your time. Just take your time. So notice how it feels now to be standing tall. Let your toes spread. Find that contact through the soles of your feet. We're going to take a balance. So if you need to move yourself around the space so you have some support, and just take your time to make sure you are in position to do so. Bring your awareness to your left foot. Let the toes spread on the left foot. Following your breath. You're breathing in, you're breathing out, and start to explore with the right leg. To begin, just coming onto the toes. And this could be where your balance is. Without judgment, just be where you are today. Accept where you are. If you'd like to explore a little further, then coming onto the inner edge of the ankle. And then if you're feeling steady, you could explore the calf. And then for those of you feeling even more adventurous, you could bring that foot up towards the inner thigh. In this tree posture, imagine you're really extending through the foot, forming roots down in through to the depths of the earth. And then your torso is the trunk and your arms are like the branches. So you really start to explore length in your body in the direction of the sky and breathe into that place. Inhale. And then on the exhale, send your roots a little deeper down. And there will be movement, and you may even topple a little, and that's okay. Just make sure you do so with a smile. Bring yourself back. Bringing your awareness to the right foot, let the right toes spread. You're planting down through the right foot, and then start to lift through with the left. So like I said, finding a place of balance that is useful for you, whereby you're focused, you're able to maintain that steady, comfortable, soft light with the breath. So if that begins to become lost, then you just bring it back so that you can continue to have that continuation of what is soft and steady, comfortable and light. Coming into tree posture, exploring where you would like to take your tree today, and then noticing your breath. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. And with your exhalations, let your exhales consolidate, find those roots even further down, almost like stretching through to the depths of the earth. And then on the in-breath, we are reaching, we are lengthening, we're finding space in our torso, we're exploring. Your fingertips extend themselves, and you could let them expand, you could let them fan out like branches of trees towards the light of the sun. Where is that light? Or maybe there's a breeze and we're a little bit swayy. Just let whatever is arising, arise. Release, and then bring your feet to the floor. So just let the effects of that settle within you for a few moments. Just notice how you feel. And then coming back to a breath that nurtures you. Focus on an exhale that is long, connects you down through towards the earth. And an inhale that is vibrant. With the in-breath brings new possibility. With the out-breath, we nurture. We find support. We connect to the earth. With the in-breath, we rise. We expand. So with that rising inhalation, let your arms extend themselves up towards the sky. And then on your exhale, soften your knees and fold forwards and down. Let your tummy meet your thighs and then round yourself into a hug. As you breathe in, expand yourself out of that hug. Take your arms out at shoulder level and then lift your chest. You're coming halfway. And then on the exhale, folding yourself back into your hug. As you breathe in, then taking your arms out, keep lifting, keep rising through. And then on the exhale, take yourself back down into your hug once again. Forward fold, soften the knees, relax across your back, your shoulders at the end of your fold. And then on the in-breath, energize. It's almost like your arms are like the wings of a bird and they're floating effortlessly. So try not to carry the tension in your arms. Pressing into the feet, lift, rising with the chest, expanding through to standing. And then on the exhale, you take yourself there again. And can you pause in your hug at the end of the exhale before the in-breath lifts you once again? And then exhaling, folds you deeply. Inhale to rise, and let's take that once more. Exhaling into your forward folding hug. Inhaling, energize, fill your shape, expand through to your fingertips. And then exhale, back down to your hug. Breathing in to rise. Exhale, lower your arms down. And just feel the energy that you are made of. The pulsing, the vibrational qualities. Turn your right toes out a little and take a step forwards with your left foot. Let your arms rest by your sides, soften into your left knee, press down in through the back heel. As you breathe in, bending your front knee, bend your left knee and let your arms extend themselves up towards the sky. On the out breath, sweep your elbows past your rib cage, so you stay in warrior in the base. And then on the in-breath, push your hands away. Imagine you're pushing through thick air. As you breathe in, then lightly take your arms up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, front leg moves towards straight, arms lower down. Breathing in. The arms extend, the front knee bends. Exhale, sweeping your elbows past the rib cage. Squeeze the shoulder blades a little. And then inhale. Imagine you're pushing through thick air. Muddy air. Muddy water. Breathe in, extend through. And then exhale and lower down. And we'll take that once more. So when you're pushing that muddy water away from you, it's almost like the kind of confusion, lethargy, mixed emotions that we're experiencing at the moment. Just sending those away for now. Bring yourself back again. Pause. And then turn on the left toes. Take a step forwards with your right foot. Arms beside you. And we'll take the same on the right side. The in-breath, the arms extend. The out-breath, we sweep and draw in. And then we breathe in, push your thick air away. Exhale to stay there. And then inhale the arms up. And then exhale, coming back. So breathing in, the arms and the front knee bends. The exhale, we draw in. The inhale, we push the hands away, press into the feet. Stay on the exhale. And then inhale the arms up. Exhale, lower down. And once more. Breathe in the arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, bring yourself back. Step your feet back together. Just pausing there for a few moments. Again, just allowing the effects of that posture to settle within you. And then start to walk your hands down, coming back onto your hands and knees. Again, place a cushion or blanket, not a cushion, sorry, a blanket beneath you if you would like that extra support beneath the body. Taking your pelvis back towards the heels as far as is comfortable for you. As you breathe in, then come through with your pelvis. And then on the exhale, lower down towards the ground. Let your forehead make contact with the earth. I'm going to start moving into a cobra. And bring your arms underneath the shoulders. And come back to the idea that your spine and your breath are like a wave. And as you breathe in, your toes are extending away from you. Start to rise with your chest and your head off the ground. So you ride the wave with the in-breath, and then you soften and release on the out-breath. So try not to push into your hands. Just let them be there as a support. Front of your body is anchored. And as you inhale, lifting through, let your heart space expand forwards. It's almost like you're moving yourself towards the wall in front of you. And then on the exhale, you soften, lightly draw the belly in and release down. And we'll take this once more. You can release the chin at the end of the movement if that feels safe for your neck. Okay, take your time to bring yourself up onto the elbows. So your elbows stack underneath your shoulders. And then bringing your chin in towards your throat. And you want to look roughly to where your thumbs are, the space in the middle of your thumbs. Lightly grip the mat, almost like you're pulling yourself along the ground. And staying here for a further 2 breaths or so. Let that sense of expansion, like we did at the start, arise into your heart. Imagine your heart is extending itself towards the wall in front of you, and your pelvis is extending itself towards the earth, anchoring you. And finding space in between the collarbones and your pubic bone. And when you're ready, lower down. Just take a few moments here. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring yourself up and over onto the back of your body. Take your time to arrive back onto that soft, velvety cushion. And when you're ready, draw your knees in over your belly. And as you breathe in, lightly let your knees roll away from you. And then on the exhale, allow them to gather in and roll back in over your body. And I'm just going to invite you here to take any movement that feels useful for you. So you may like to circle the knees around. You may prefer to sway. And we're just bringing the body back into a place of balance. So we've been working with opening postures. So let's just release ourselves back consolidate ourselves. And just take movement that feels useful and relevant. Place your feet on the floor about mat distance apart, so they're wide, and let your arms be away from you. You take a breath in here, and then on the exhale, roll onto the outer and inner edges of your feet and take your knees to one side, extend your head in the opposite direction. And then on the in-breath, come back center. And as you exhale, take yourself in the opposite way. Inhale, coming through center, and then exhaling back over to the first side. And just take your time to explore a lying rotation. Feel free to stay for a breath on either side when you're ready, or maybe even 2 breaths. And just pausing there and allowing the breath to expand itself back throughout your torso, reaching places that maybe just need a little more vibrancy today, a little more energy or awakening. And on those exhalations, just invite a nurturing quality. Let your exhale bring with it a sense of nurture as you release and let go a little. Okay, bringing yourself back. Let your knees draw in once again and curl into a ball. Roll onto your side, and we will slowly come up to sit. Now I'd like you to find a comfortable seated position of your choice. So that could mean sitting onto a chair. You're welcome also, if you just prefer not to at this stage, you're welcome to sit onto lie onto your back. So if you would prefer to just do this part of the practice lying on your back, then you are welcome to do so. Otherwise, bringing yourself up to sit, and we will take a short meditation just to close the practice. Now, making sure that you aren't, so if you're sitting, that you feel evenly placed over your sit bones. So you're not rolling back through towards the back of the pelvis, and you're not arching or propping yourself up so you're coming through onto the creases of your thighs. So you're somewhere between those 2 points. Just take a few moments to settle here. Come back to your breathing. Let your shoulders be spacious. It's almost like you're stacking your shoulders above your pelvis in order to have a neutral spine between the two. So again, not leaning forwards or pressing back in any way, and your chin lightly draws in. So come back to the soft, velvety cushion of the earth beneath you. Just acknowledge the earth, its capacity to nurture, replenish, to renew us. And then be aware of the space around you, a sense of expanse, or even the sky above you. And the sky brings with it a sense of expanse or spaciousness or even freedom. And then bring yourself into your center. So your center could be at your heart or over your core, your belly. Maybe different. It could be on your thighs. Place your hands in what feels like your central point between the soft velvety cushion of the earth and the expanse and freedom of the sky. And just acknowledging that you are placed between those two, that you are held between those two places. And just let your breath be natural and light here. Noticing that you are breathing in noticing that you are breathing out. And then with your inhalation, mentally repeat to yourself, I breathe in. And with your exhalation, mentally repeat to yourself, I breathe out. I breathe in. I breathe out. I breathe in. I breathe out. Continue in this way, and can you almost slip into a moment of pause after your inhalation? I breathe in, and then you slip into a moment of pause or spaciousness. I breathe out, a moment of pause and spaciousness. And it's almost like your breath is a circle. And you breathe into the top of the circle, which could take you up towards the sky. I breathe in spaciousness. And then you complete the circle on the exhalation, and at the end of the exhale, I breathe out to nurture. I breathe in. I breathe out. And then I'm going to invite you to place a word in between the two. And the word that I'm going to offer is kindness. I breathe in kindness. So with that pause in between the in-breath and the out-breath, placing the word kindness. I breathe out kindness. The pause at the end of the out-breath and the in-breath. So repeating for a few more moments. I breathe in kindness. I breathe out kindness. And then just let go of the repetition of words and just be with that feeling of kindness as you breathe. Feel that there is a kindness that has elevated itself within you, enough so that as you go through into the rest of your day, there will be kindness with your actions, with the people you communicate with, the spaces you explore. And when you're ready, sigh the breath. Let your arms rest. Maybe just stretch your legs out a little. Just taking some movement or stretching in a way that feels useful for you. And just take a few moments to allow the effects of your practice to settle within you. Notice how you feel in reflection. And perhaps there is an inner sense of nurture, that you have nurtured yourself well during your practice today. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the practice, and I'd love to know how you found it. Enjoy the rest of your day and the festival as well. Okay, bye for now.
Thank you so much, Helen. If you enjoyed Helen's classes, she is based in Manchester, but she's practicing on Zoom at the moment, so please find her on Instagram and read her fantastic blog. Today we have 2 literature events coming up, and also Stephen Backshaw, and going live at 8 o'clock is the Patagonia Rock session. Just another note on Nurture Well. This whole series of sessions is focused around the festival theme of nurture, as I think Helen really beautifully articulated. This is a really important time for looking after ourselves in order to look after each other, which is really the whole point of this kind of practice, is to make us more compassionate and kinder. If you enjoyed this session, please share it. Tomorrow we've got Adam Thwaites and Broga for a slightly different slant on this practice, and I'm sure you'll agree that that might be more accessible to a few people who maybe haven't tried this before. Have a lovely day. We've got an amazing sunrise happening in Kendal. Happy Monday.